Ladies and gentlemen, it's cabaret time! And we have a great favorite, a truly beautiful and talented act. Please welcome Miss Vera Reynolds!
Falling in love again, never wanted to. What am I to do? I can't help it. Love's always been my game. Play it how I can. I was made that way. I can't help it.
I don't know where he is.
Their wings burn. I know I'm not to blame. Falling in love again, never wanted to. What am I to do? I can't help it. Falling in love again, never wanted to. What am I to do? I can't help it. Love's always been my game. Play it how I may. I was made that way, so I can't help it. Men cluster to me like moths around a flame. And if their wings burn, I know I'm not to blame. Falling in love again, never wanted. What am I can't help it.
So far, apart from a recent case in the United States, known serial killers have all been male. Almost all white, often unusually intelligent, and extremely cunning.
Yeah, well, got an idea on it. You are joking. We can't even tell whether it's male or female, you know.
Most victims have been female, usually young women, whose death is frequently accompanied by violent sexual assault. Invariably, there is evidence of torture and mutilation. Richard Trenton Chase, the Sacramento vampire killer, arrested for 7 murders. Note his own handwriting, taken from a scrawled message left at the scene of one of his crimes. Quote, "Catch me before I kill more, I cannot control myself," unquote. Now, later I'll come back to the clues the handwriting gave us as an insight to the killer's personality.
I thought it went pretty well tonight, better than last Tuesday. Feel more relaxed, don't you think?
Well, you always impress me. How long are you going to be away for?
2 weeks. You are coming with me.
I can't. I'm starting a new job on Monday. Sorry.
We're still going back to the hotel?
Yeah. Just for a drink.
We'll get the rest of the clothes cut off and see what's left. Could be a Vera stroke Vernon Reynolds. What's that supposed to mean?
Taking 4 years off your age.
Serial killers are big business. At least they were last year. I think I missed the gravy train. Story of my life.
May I?
One? Just one? Take one, you get 8 complimentary copies.
Did you sign it for me?
Sure.
Thank you.
Why would you come with me?
Don't want to get hurt again.
Again? That doesn't make sense.
There wasn't anyone else before, you know, Jake. It's just all going too fast. It was such a big decision.
Why didn't you talk it through with me?
Then you would have made the decision for me.
Would that have been so bad?
There's no point in discussing it now.
It may not be for you, but there is for me. I wanted to marry you. I wanted to have kids with you. You knew that. Don't you think I deserve more than a kiss-off phone call? I'm sorry, Jake, it's not going to work. You never gave it a chance.
I didn't know you wouldn't come back.
What did you expect me to do? Come running after you? You said it was over, then you hung up on me. Now you're doing the same thing. What are you so afraid of?
This is ridiculous. I mean, everything's different now. It was a long time ago. Should have started seeing you again.
So why did you come tonight?
Maybe I couldn't stay away. No, I think I better go.
Just stay tonight. Then I'll go on my book tour and you go.
Vice. I'm heading a vice squad. No, Jake, I mustn't. I mustn't.
Paraphernalia was found here. That was described on the far wall. It was cold that night. So, the boy lies down. Maybe has moved the fire closer from there to here.
No. It was found with the ridges facing away from the settee. If he'd moved it to get warm by, the heater outlet would have been the other way round.
Please, don't touch anything in the room. Please.
It's my album. Don't look. Just don't look. You're insured. Keep saying to yourself, I am insured. You'll have to get every carpet replaced. The water's done more damage out here than the fire.
Hello, Soho Vice Squad.
You're supposed to sit here all morning?
Right.
Yes, would you like
I suggest we give it another 5 minutes and then get on with the day's schedule. I need an ID on the body in the flat last night.
It looked to Vera rents it, but it wasn't her. Some kid, 16 or 17-year-old.
Working overtime, on.
She doesn't seem over anxious to get started, does she?
Put it out!
John Kennington's formal resignation accepted due to ill health. Case dismissed. What? Oh, yeah, I've just been told. I'll see you there, why not? Well, we'll have to, otherwise it'll look suspicious. Good. Oh, I'd better be on my way over to you now. Your new DCI should be there any moment. Call my wife. Got a dinner tonight. Ask her to send over my dinner suit.
Yes, Commander Chiswick.
Jay, it's me. Look, we can't just leave it like this. I'm leaving this evening. I'll call you later.
Got any more on the barbecued kid?
I'll have to do more tests. But he had a nasty crack over his skull.
Legs and one arm, third-degree burns, heat lacerations. Rest of the body is done to a crisp.
We've got an elevated carboxyhemoglobin, blood pink, owing to high level of the same.
Ah,
Lyall. Looks like someone took an axe to him.
There was a bomb scare and all the traffic was diverted and my batteries on my phone were down, so I couldn't... Anyway, I'm sorry I'm late.
That's the main area. You have a good, hard-working team assigned to you. If you wanted to settle yourself in, I'll see if Chief Superintendent Halliday has made arrangements. He's right next door.
Can I come in?
Come in. You are?
Norma Hastings. I was instructed to bring these to you.
OK, thank you. Can I have a list of all the officers on the squad, please?
Didn't you get one?
No, I've only just got here. So could you get that straight away from me and get everyone collected in the main office?
Most of them are out. Would you like a coffee?
No, just the list, please, Oh, yeah, I'll have a coffee. Have it black with a little bit of slimline milk.
This one.
I told you. I did the show that I went out for a bite to eat with some friends.
And you didn't know he was in your flat? Come on.
Vernon, if I go out and leave someone keeping in my place, I wouldn't be so stupid as to say I don't know who they are. I mean, that is stupid, isn't it?
It could have been any number of people. You see, it was well known. I leave a key on top of the front door.
About 17 years old, reddish blonde hair. Ring any bells? Yeah.
Sorry, the fire team would like Mr. Reynolds as soon as possible. Oh, and can you get everybody together, same as this morning for 12:30 sharp? She's here.
I want you to give Operation Contract your fullest and immediate attention. Now, I know it'll be a new area for you, but I am confident your past experience will be an added bonus. That's imperative, and I repeat, imperative that we get results and fast. There's been enough time wasted.
Right, so, well, I haven't had time to familiarise myself with all the cases that I'll be taking over, but yes, yes, of course, I will make Operation Contract a priority.
Good. Well, the team will fill you in on our progress to date, but, you know, I was expecting to see you a little earlier.
Yes, I will.
Oh, she's not going to like this, Norma.
You should be in the meeting.
Obviously, I've got a lot of catching up to do, so I will need your cooperation. I'd appreciate... It's Inspector Hall, is it? Lawrence Hall?
Yeah?
Well, Lawrence, let's you and me get off on the right footing, shall we? If I ask everyone to be here at a certain time, I really would appreciate it unless you have a very good excuse.
I'm sorry. I had to take Reynolds over to the fire unit. I'm waiting for the report.
Is Otley with Reynolds?
Yeah. You know about the fire, do you?
Yeah, I do, but I'd like to know what this department has got to do with this fire and this boy. I mean, I know Vernon Reynolds and what he is, but that's not against the law.
Well, one, it was on our patch. In the area we've been targeting on Operation Contract. Two, dead boy was possibly a rent boy. Vernon was probably taking a few quid for letting him use his place.
Has he admitted that?
No. He's not likely to, is he? He's saying he doesn't even know who was in there.
Well, I would like a full report on this fire business, and then I will tell you whether or not we will continue with the investigation. Until then, our priority is Operation Contract. Thank you very much. What's your name?
Sorry, Kathy.
Kathy, right. Kathy, will you give me a full rundown on Operation Contract, please?
Yes, well, because most of the older rent boys are carrying pagers and portable phones, we've, sorry, that's four of us, ma'am. We've been concentrating on the younger ones driving around Soho, and we've staked out Waterloo Street, Golden Fleece, Euston
So
Station.
what's your role in all this?
Well, basically, I've been questioning as many of the kids as possible. See, our problem is that once the kids are actually out on the streets...
You've been with Reynolds and the fire team, why?
A boy's called Colin Jenkins, known as Colin. I'm sorry I'm late, ma'am, but I've been seeing if I get your drawers loosened.
To your office, please. Right, Sergeant, I'm not going to take any crap from you, and I'm not going to stand by and let you stir things up. Now, either you're going to work with me, or I'm going to have you transferred.
Look, I was out of line at Southampton Road, but having said that, I know you did a good job.
Oh, thank you very much. So what's it going to be? Are you going to work with me or not?
I got an ID on the boy in the fire at Reynolds' place. He was a runaway, 15 years old at the time, Colin Jenkins, known as Connie. Now, all the state-run homes have the kids' teeth checked on a regular basis. And his records are on file.
Good. So what's this boy got to do with Operation Contract?
It was supposed to be a slow start to a massive clean-up operation. All the areas targeted up there is supposed to be the Rent Boys area, you see. It's Alan's obsession.
And so?
Well, that's what it is, clean-up operation.
Well, what's the big deal? Why's it taking so long?
Because it's a bloody cock-up, excuse the pun. Governor before you got dumped. That's all he had to say to the blame.
A few of us think there was a leak. The word got out because there was no punters, no boys on the streets. Did a big clean-up, came away with nothing. Had to be a leak. Chiswick and Other Day keep on pushing it.
I'd say now the book stops with you, ma'am.
Hello.
Don't have a first-class ticket, but
No, it's okay. She's with me.
It's okay.
Well, never been in here before. But then I don't often travel first class either.
I've got about an hour before my train, but I wanted to...
Yeah, I'm really glad you called. Because there's this case I'm working on.
I don't want to talk about work, Jane. I just didn't think that we, or I, could walk away without...
What refreshments can I get for you?
Whiskey and soda, please. Well, I'm very impressed. Never even knew this was here.
Jane, we have to talk because... Jane, I'm married and I have 4 kids.
Yeah, I know. It's on the flyleaf of your book.
Yeah, but what isn't is the way I feel about you, the way I've always felt about you.
No, you wrote that in the front of the book.
Can you be serious just for a second, for Christ's sakes?
There's no point. There is no point.
And why did you come?
Because I wanted to ask your opinion on this case that I'm working on.
I don't believe you.
Look, I knew you were married. Shouldn't have stayed.
So I did, Jane.
Because you wanted me to? Jay. It was because I wanted to. You know, I'm a glutton for punishment, that's why I'm so good at my job. Well, I got what I wanted. I got my job. And you got married. So maybe we both got what we wanted. And if we didn't, we've got no one to blame but ourselves.
What a mess.
No, it's not. We're going to do exactly what we agreed to do. We're not going to see each other again. You're going to get on that train and I'm going to... Anyway, in the meantime...
I love you.
Yeah. I know.
So it's this case you're working on?
How can I help you?
Oh, yeah. You know Colin Jenkins?
Yes, red-haired lad.
I need to ask some of the lads about him. He's dead.
Yes, I know. Terrible.
He was on the game, wasn't he?
Is this official?
Yeah.
I've discussed all this with an Inspector Hall, and I've promised him that I will do whatever I can to help with the inquiry. I would appreciate if you could keep as low a profile as possible, because some of the boys get a bit edgy when they're faced with authority.
Oh, so? Do you know Colin Jenkins?
I think your boy was already dead. The autopsy would say that the fluid taken from the blisters showed no sign of vital reaction.
So if the fire wasn't accidental, he was murdered. Is that what you're saying? What does this pugilistic attitude mean?
Arms held out, legs flexed. It's caused by the coagulation of the muscles on the flexor surface of the limbs. So the body could show that it was still in a sitting up position.
Mm-hmm.
Jane, I'll be back in London next week and...
No. No more meetings, we agreed. That's your train. Don't call me again, please. I'll get that.
So, there we all are.
Sweep it under the carpet, John.
We should check out the abandoned vehicle.
No, I've been warned to keep it there.
We wade across this copse, and we get to the vehicle, and there's a note on the windscreen. And it says, "Stuck in the mud, gone for help." So I would now like to propose my toast and give my very best wishes for a happy and productive retirement to John Kennington. Gentlemen, please raise your glasses. Gentlemen, your attention, please, for Commander Trainer.
I first met John Kennington in Manchester a long time ago. But like Mike Kernan, I have some very happy as well as some not so great memories. There was a time when John Kennington and I were with a certain commanding officer, who shall remain nameless, when John there brings a
Why don't
toy.
they just give him his watch and we can all piss off?
Well, he's riding out.
This is a cab ride.
Drunk and disorderly and abusive.
Is there a cab ride?
Yeah.
You're not drinking?
All right, you force me.
I need an interview room, so I want to take a statement.
You're not down for tonight, are you?
This kid knows something, but he's scared. You coming with me?
How old is he?
17?
I'm out of here. I can't take this crap any longer. Someone should ask him to start a cabaret, like he does at the Bowery Roof Club.
Bowery what?
See that bloke there with the iron grey hair? The emphasis on iron. Judge Sayers. See if he can get you a membership.
Excuse me. Judge Sayers, isn't it? We met at a lodge dinner a few weeks ago.
Vera. How are you feeling? I understand you've had bad news.
It was an accident. A terrible accident.
I'm sorry. If there's anything I can...
I don't want money. I better ring Colin.
And any claim by the perpetrators could not harm people. I fully intend to raise the matter in the House.
Got in good voice as usual. You well?
Terrible. Got ruddy gout. First time out for weeks.
Colin Jenkins is dead. I think he'd like to be called Connie. We should talk.
Has anyone had any past dealings with this Colin Jenkins? He might have been pulled in a few months back, maybe more. We rounded a lot up. Now, I can't find his report on him, but I'm sure that a Jenkins, I think it was a Bruce Jenkins, was interviewed with a social worker because he was underage.
What's this advice centre?
One of the places we targeted. I've already been there. The guy that runs it.
Mr. Parker Jones. He states he hasn't seen our Connie for months.
Has it been confirmed yet whether the fire was accidental or arson?
Don't know. Fire team's still working on it.
Jane, can I have a word?
Yeah.
Shall run over a few things.
God, there was an emergency call placed, 9:15, night of the fire. I called it to not leave his name.
What emergency call?
Well, somebody called an ambulance.
What, for Reynolds' address?
Yeah.
We'll get the emergency services to send over a recording.
Last night, a lad called Martin Fletcher was brought in. Otley will explain the circumstances. But the last thing we need is any anger from the social services about the questioning of underage kids without legal advisors. Oh, Christ, I've got a headache. Oh, I'd like you to set up meetings with the British Transport Police. Getting all the centres and halfway homes in our area. I'd like us to try for another swoop on those areas we've targeted, all right?
Right, sir. You know this boy, Colin Jenkins, who was in the fire? Well, according to the squad, he was on the game.
Well, he isn't anymore, so he's one less to worry about.
DCI Tennison. I want Otley and Hall in my office as soon as possible. Thank you.
And then 3 messages. Fire team and forensic department. And someone called Jessica Smithy. She's a journalist doing a piece on rent boys.
What paper's she from?
She didn't say.
Right, Norma, out. Thank you. Close the door after you. What the hell do you two think you're playing at? Last night, and according to the roster, you were not even on duty, but last night the pair of you interviewed a boy called Martin Fletcher. Is that correct?
Aye.
Well, when later interviewed by his social worker, a Miss Margaret Spiel, she saw extensive bruising to his face, arms and upper neck.
Wait. He was brought in like that.
So she's filed a complaint against this department, of which, in case you'd not bloody noticed, I am head. Martin Fletcher, you idiots, is 14 years old.
Oh, Christ. He swore under caution he was 17.
And as such, he should have been allocated a lawyer, an appropriate adult, or a social worker. So which one of you wants to start?
He's a known heavy. He beats up on the young kids. His name's Jackson. James Jackson.
Yeah, well, go on.
He picks up the kids, really young ones, in and around central London. Euston, Charing Cross, King's Cross.
Yeah, all right, I know the stations.
Well, Martin Fletcher was one of his boys.
Well, I brought him in because I thought he might help us get a handle on Connie. Why was in that flat?
We just wanted to talk to him about Colin Jenkins. Then he starts telling us about Jackson.
Bastard plucks them off the station, feeds them, gives them a place to stay, and that's it. He's got them, you see. And it's not only the boys, it's the young, only the very young girls. He drugs them, keeps them dependent.
Well, is all this past history, or did Martin Fletcher tell you all this?
Well, we've sort of known about the scams, but we've never been able to get any of the kids to name Jackson, and he's one of our main targets. We don't know where he holds the kids.
Oh, you know, wait a minute. What do you mean, holds the kids? You mean like he kidnaps them? What?
No. They go willingly. And I'm talking here about kids as young as 12 and 13. I mean, sometimes younger.
None of the kids will talk. We pulled Jackson in loads of times. We even managed to get charges compiled against him. Statements are always withdrawn. The kids are terrified of him. They won't go against him. So when Martin tells us that Jackson beat him up because he wanted to know where Connie was, we thought, you know, we're onto something. Have you read my report?
Oh, yes, I have. Blah, 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 yeah. Otley, did you know Connie? Fletcher, no. Otley, come on, Martin, he was murdered. Oh, we do not as yet know that Connie was murdered.
Excuse me, Gov. The point is, Jackson beat up Martin Fletcher on the night that Connie died. Look, Paul, what time did Jackson beat you up? Fletcher, 8 to 9-ish.
And this was the same night that Connie died?
Yeah.
Or do we have a realistic time of when that fire was started?
Yeah, about 9:30. Now, Jackson could have done it, but even if he didn't, this could be a chance for us to get him off the streets while we get the kids to talk.
Well, let's get Fletcher back in for questioning, shall we? And also let's bring in Jackson, just to help him with inquiries.
Yeah.
I'll deal with Margaret Spiel.
Body was found here, on the settee. And this is, or was, a paraffin oil eater on the seat of the fire.
Was it an accident?
No. This was pushed or kicked forward. And there are signs that paraffin had been distributed around the room, probably from a canister of fuel we found by the door. If, say, for example, you stand by the fireplace and say you trip, then you'd hit that table, but it shows no indication of the victim having fallen. Also, if he had, say, fallen against the heater, then he wouldn't have been lying that way around. His head would have been at that end.
It's official. The fire wasn't accidental.
Well, in that case, it's nothing to do with us then, is it? Thank God for that.
Make sure she understands this is the Vice Squad. Any other crimes are forwarded to the correct department.
Yeah, well, we might have a bit of a problem. The boy was earmarked in Operation Contract. Could be a tie-in. But I'll have a word.
You better. I don't want her or us to have anything to do with this murder. So reallocate the investigation. And Jack, she has no option.
Leave a number. Yeah, okay, I got that. Anything else? Oh, God, not again. Just tell her I'm unavailable, will you? Put her onto the press officer. All right, bye. Well, it's official. The fire wasn't accidental. What's all this?
Money, or the remains of it. We've still got some under the microscope, but there's quite a lot. The clothes, all good, expensive items. We've got the label from his leather coat. It was Armani.
Did Martin Fletcher say anything about this? I mean, could that be what Jackson was after?
These are sections of photographs, all beyond salvaging, but they were stuffed inside his jacket. And there's scraps of paper, all charred, I'm afraid. Could be letters, possibly. It's hard to tell.
Oh, was that it, then?
No, this is all that's left of him.
Let's bring in Vera Reynolds again.
All right, mate, how you doing?
Yeah.
How you doing? You're from Liverpool?
Yeah.
You know, Steve Wallace.
Right, we're on our way. Jackson's hanging around platform 11. So we used to that chair across the
It's all right, I'm not the law. Just waiting for a friend. You've got something to make you. So this is the first time in London you've come to.
Vera has admitted that she knew Colin.
Connie. He didn't like his name. Sometimes he called himself Bruce.
Bruce? Bit butch of that sort, wasn't it?
Vera, the sooner this is all sorted out, the sooner you can leave.
On the other hand, if you killed your little feathered friend, I'm going to put you somewhere where the birds can't shit on you.
It's proved to be arson. I mean, if somebody did it, does that mean I won't get the insurance? Oh, God. All my costumes.
What about your costumes? What about Connie? Who do you think set my light, eh?
I don't know.
Got Jackson and the probation officer waiting to see her, and Martin Fletcher's being brought
5
in.
minutes. Why did you lie about Connie? No, I've given up.
I tried. I've had the patches. I've got patches for hormones, nicotine. My house looks like an old pub table. I've even tried the chewing gum. How did you give up?
Oh, with difficulty. Look, you better help me, Vera, because I'm losing my patience. Why did you lie?
I wasn't lying about knowing him. Nobody really knew him. He was very gentle, very beautiful. He wanted to be a model, a professional model. And he used to answer the advert.
Oh, Jesus.
What about this, what about James Jackson?
It's an animal who should be caged.
Did Connie have someone looking after him, say Jackson?
You mean like a pimp? The elder boys don't have them, really, not like the Toms.
Yeah, go on.
I would help you, you know that. I always have in the past. You're not like the others. I've always appreciated the way you speak to me. I just can't help. Maybe...
Maybe, Vera, maybe what?
He used the advice centre for letters, I know that. Edward Parker Jones runs it.
All right, well, that's it. Thank you, Vera. Norma, would you show Vera out? Give this to Kathy, get her to check it out.
Done.
Martin Fletcher's in reception. I think you said word and Martin before Jackson.
Oh, God, a couple of messages. That journalist again, Jessica Smithy, rang. I've told her to contact the press office, but she's bloody pushy. She insists she
Look,
wants to
just leave my messages on my desk, OK? I'll deal with Martin Fletcher first.
And by the way, your now drank Wednesday AM's up.
Fine, thanks. You're going the wrong way, Vera.
I want to talk to you. Look, if it gets out that it was me who told you,
You didn't tell me anything.
Let's go, please, don't let it go. You dig deep.
Where's Martin Fletcher?
Room 5, next to the coffee machine.
Well, where's the bloody coffee machine?
Colin Jenkins, can you get me the full case records to date?
Yes, sir. Where's the coffee machine?
Make sure you get everything to me ASAP. That's first hand, Chief Inspector. I don't want anything sprung on me. That understood?
Oh, absolutely, sir.
I'll be in my office.
Coffee machines?
Down there, on the right.
Down where? Down there, down there.
Do you understand the question, Martin? We're getting tired. We've all been here a long time.
Martin, last night you talked to Sergeant Otley and Inspector Hall. And you said that the man who attacked you...
No, there were words put in my mouth. I never told nobody nothing. It's the God's truth.
Look, got it written down here. You said the man's name was Jackson and he asked you where Colin Jenkins was.
No, I never said that neither. What happened was, you know the escalators, top of King's Cross?
Yes.
I was coming down them, and my coat got caught, and I fell forward and I hit my face. And then I got up and I fell over again and I hit my nose. Nobody hit me.
So you lied to the police officers?
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I lie 'cause I'm underage.
Martin, did you know Colin Jenkins, Connie?
Yeah. Not well. He was a red-haired bloke, wasn't he? Quentin House, he was there with me. And now he's burnt to a crisp. That's the joke going around, Quentin Crisp, the famous puffer.
Have you ever had sex with a man?
Me? Ah.
How about a blowjob? Ever done that?
Yeah, a few times when I'm broke. I ain't into all that. I've got other means of employment.
Oh, yeah? Such as what?
Breaking and entering, nicking cars, radios. Do a bit of begging. Sell me life story to the newspapers.
Now, you listen to me, Martin. You think you can play games with us, lie to us, and it's all a joke, isn't it? Well, it's not. Colin Jenkins is dead. There's no one to claim his body, no one to even bury him. No one cares about Colin Jenkins but us. And you're next, Martin. You're the next little dead body we find down there, you know that? You want people to care about you?
He denies knowing Martin Fletcher.
Martin Fletcher denies his whole statement. Ah, can we hold Jackson on trying to pick that boy up at the station? So we got nothing on him? No prints from Vera's flat, nothing on the possible weapon?
No, nothing.
Open the window. Shut that door.
1846, DCI
You
Tennison.
take that smile off your face, because I'm going to book you and send you away for a very long time.
What am I supposed to have done?
1, you were caught approaching a juvenile. 2, attempted murder of another juvenile. And 3, that you did on the night of the 17th murder Colin Jenkins. Sit down. Have you read him his rights yet?
Yeah.
Sergeant, has he given you a contact number for his brief? Right, what's your full address?
Flat 4, Addison Lane Estate. My mother's place.
And your name is James Paul Jackson.
Yes, that's my name.
Unemployed, arrested, no charges, no charges. Well, you're very well known to Vice, aren't you? Well, you've been lucky up to now, because we haven't been able to charge you until we'd interviewed Martin Fletcher.
I never touched Colin Jenkins. I wasn't even there. I wasn't at Vernon Reynolds' flat, full stop. End of question.
Yeah, but you admit that you attacked Martin Fletcher on the night in question.
I was at the advice centre. Ask Mr. Parker Jones. He saw me there. There was also a kid called Alan Thorpe. Now, I've got 3 or 4 more witnesses to prove I was there. This is just a ridiculous waste of time.
Why were you looking for Colin Jenkins?
I never found him. I admit I was looking for him. Martin must have told you that. I was looking for Connie, but I never found him.
Yeah, but why were you looking for him?
He owed me some money.
Oh, yeah? How much?
A couple of hundred.
200 quid, that's a lot of money. You're unemployed.
Yeah, that's why I wanted it back. Look, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I do the odd trick. Yeah? Well, jobs are really hard to come by, you know? And my mum, she gets behind with the rent, so I blow a few blokes. And I don't like it when some kid nicks my dough. Now, I'm not going to lie to you about Martin Fletcher. I suppose I just lost my temper. You telling me he's going to press charges? Martin? No way. Like you say, it was a lot of money. Now, I'm not saying anything until I get my brief. Because you're not listening to what I'm saying.
All right, take him back down to the cells until we have, as requested, contacted his brief and verified his alibi witnesses.
What's her name?
As Colin Jenkins' death is now a homicide, I suggest we hand it over to the correct department.
Oh, no, we are making progress. I mean, I've got a very strong suspect in custody, Jackson. And he's got direct links to Operation Contract.
Go on.
Well, he's very well known to Vice. In fact, he's been questioned by them on several occasions. If he did, in fact, murder Colin Jenkins, that's going to act as a very strong lever for more information. Oh, incidentally, there's this advice centre keeps cropping up, you know, run by a man called Edward Parker Jones.
At no time did Operation Contract initiate an investigation into Edward Parker Jones.
Well, no, I wasn't contemplating an investigation into him. It's just that he's my suspect's main alibi. And you see, the longer we have Jackson banged up, the easier it is to question the kids.
All right. But just let me know if there are any new developments, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
God, could you spare a minute? Yeah. I wanted me to check back and see if Colin Jenkins had been brought in, right? He was, and he did use the name Bruce Jenkins, and he was charged with soliciting.
Who interviewed him?
Sergeant Otley. Now, it was almost a year ago, and he was underage, so a social worker had to come in and take over from the department. Now, I have contacted her. She's not much help, but she's sending her report in anyway.
OK, thanks.
Right.
Look, if she isn't suspicious now, she will be if I pull her off it. She knows nothing. Because I'm sure of it. Yeah, well... Yes, well, we just better make damn sure it stays that way.
The deceased, Colin Jenkins, was, according to the PATH reports, unconscious when the fire took hold, but his death was due to carbon monoxide poisoning. Therefore, we're now treating the case as a murder, as it's clear from fire reports that the fire was not accidental, but an act of arson. We all have a backlog of cases, and my own feelings concerning this murder and its obvious complexities are that we keep it in-house. So I want this case brought to a conclusion as fast as possible, and have requested backup to assist Detective Chief Inspector Tennison's inquiry from CID Amit Area 7 and 8. Thank you.
Sir, I do not need any assistance. I already have a very strong suspect.
James Jackson, here marking Operation Contract.
And I would like to be informed first of any further decisions concerning the Colin Jenkins investigation.
I'll bear it in mind, Chief Inspector.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jane. I didn't have time this morning to introduce you. This is one of your new team, DI Brian Dalton. Brian, this is Chief Inspector Jane Tennison.
Good morning.
How do you do?
Yes, I want to report an answer. That's 5. I need an answer. I want to report an answer. That's 5.
That call was logged at 9:15.
Do you recognise that voice?
I want to report an answer. That's 5.
It's not Vernon, is it?
I want to report an answer. That's 5.
Didn't leave his name?
An answer.
Oh, yeah. Just playing this because we like the sound of his voice.
Jackson's with his brief.
Did we trace any of those alibi witnesses yet? No. No, just stay here a minute, would you?
Qualified, any, Dalton?
You interviewed Colin Jenkins. What happened? Did it slip your mind, Bill? I mean, here I am trying to get a handle on him, and you interviewed him.
Too many conversations with him just after I got here.
Well-
I didn't remember until Kat told me.
Okay, what was he like? Was he dumb? Was he intelligent? Was he cheeky? Was he soliciting? Was he caught in the act? I mean, come on, you questioned him,
He's a
didn't
very
you?
quiet lad, just very quiet, that's all I know.
Look, I want Martin Fletcher brought back in again, and you can take Dalton with you.
And there was another kid called Kenny Lloyd. He was there. And, oh yeah, Driscoll. Don't know his first name. Disco Driscoll. And Alan Thorpe, Billy Matthews, they was with me from about 8:30 onwards at the Advice Centre, played some pool, watched some TV. I've told you all this. Even told you about Mr. Parker Jones being there.
Well, we'll check these witnesses out, but until then, you are going to remain in custody.
But my client has clearly stated to you that on the evening in question he has not one but 5 witnesses, and you were given their names yesterday.
Mr. Arthur, until we can verify that your client was where he said he was, he is going to remain in this nick.
What about these other charges? I mean, you have held my client for nearly 24 hours. If there are other charges to be levelled at my client, we have a right to know exactly what they are.
Yeah.
Bull ring last night. Waterloo underpass this morning.
That social worker, Margaret Spill, does she know where he is? Then get back out and find him. Find every one of his alibis and wheel them in, every one of them. Take him back to the cells.
How long can they hold me here?
What time did you bring my client here? The exact time, Inspector.
Oi, you, move it.
We're looking for a kid named Disco Driscoll. Look, I'm talking to you. What's that?
Making a model airplane, what do you think?
Kid with a lager can. It's Kenny Lloyd. Oi! Go easy on him. Hello, son.
20 quid. Down the toilets.
You just blew more than you expected, son. I'm a police officer.
Okay, so I'll make it 10.
Watch it. I want to ask you a few questions, all right? It's about that fire. You heard about it? You know Colin Jenkins? Connie, eh? Hey!
Get up! Come on, leave it alone! Leave it alone! Bastard, leave him alone! Come on, leave him alone! Leave him alone!
I've done nothing. I swear to God, I don't know anything.
No one's asked you anything yet. What's your name?
Billy.
Billy what?
Billy Matthews.
You telling me porgies, eh?
Go. Excuse me, this is a private office.
Could you leave us, please? Detective Chief Inspector Jane Tennison, and you are...
Edward Parker Jones. Could I see that?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. So, how can I help you, Chief Inspector?
Well, I'm making an investigation into the death of Colin Jenkins. You know him. So, well, could you tell me where you were on the evening of the 17th of this month?
Yes, I was here. I was here from 6:30 until about midnight.
And do you have any witnesses to corroborate?
How many would you like? I can make you out a list if you like.
Well, I'm interested in the hour between 8:30 and 9:30.
Alan Thorpe, David Driscoll, Kenny Lloyd.
Do you know James Jackson?
Yes. In fact, he was here that evening.
You have a very good memory, Mr. Parker Jones.
No, not really. It's my job to help the social services by keeping some kind of record about the youngsters who come and go here.
Ah.
Oh, yes, Billy Matthews. He was here as well.
Yes, I had to arrange for him to see a doctor. We found him in the toilets. He's a tragic case. Only 14, full-blown AIDS. And I remember that evening, Jackson was in a particularly aggressive mood. He's not a very pleasant character. He'd been in earlier in the day looking for a boy called Martin Fletcher.
Why was he looking for him?
I've no idea. Anyway, Martin wasn't here on the 17th, but he turned up the next day. Indeed, Sergeant Otley spoke with him.
Now, you said that Mr. Jackson had been here earlier in the day and then he came back at night. What time did he come back?
Is Jackson a suspect? I thought it was an accidental death. I mean, that building's a fire trap. The whole block is.
Would you please just answer the question? What time did Mr. Jackson get back?
Oh, I think he got back about 8:30, stayed for 2 hours.
2 hours? Well, thank you very much, Mr. Parker-Jones. Do you know Vernon Reynolds' flat?
Yes, Vernon is very well known around here. He sometimes leaves his front door key at the desk for his friends to pop in. I've always had a good relationship with the Vice Squad. Take it you're new?
Yes, I am. And I do appreciate your help.
That's all. Most of the youngsters that come here in a terrible state, you know. They've been abused, they're unloved, they're no friends, but there's not much we can do except keep some kind of contact.
I'm sure you do a very good job. You do have some very impressive credentials here.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, there was just one more thing. Do you have any photographs? The boys?
No, that'd be far too expensive.
Well, I meant casual snapshots, you know, like a Christmas party or something. I know that Connie came here quite a lot, didn't he?
They used to, but we haven't seen him here for about 3 months.
Do you know where he had been living then for the past couple of months?
No, I'm afraid not. He used to leave messages on the board, and he received a few letters from time to time, but not for a while. I'll tell you what, I'll have a word around, and if I hear anything, I'll let you know.
Thank you very much.
Not at all.
Driscoll, Fall. God, he's giving me the same names as Jackson. We'll have to release him. Oh, shit. He's banged up. He couldn't scare those kids into not talking to us. And they can't find Martin Fletcher.
I made a list of all the jobs and contacts on the notice board. A lot of young male models required. Place reads like a Tom's telephone kiosk.
Models?
Yeah.
That fits in with something that Vera said about Connie, about wanting to be a model. Very good, very good. May I say, that is a very positive tie you're wearing today, Inspector.
Thank you. Tennison has got the murder inquiry, partly because it would be more trouble to stop her. But we want the murder and only the murder investigated.
Well, there's nothing else, nothing that I've heard. Jackson is still the prime suspect.
Yeah, well, we want Jackson charged. What we do not want is the investigation broadened. Is that understood?
Mm-hmm.
You'd better go and let Sister have a look at that hand.
Right.
Oh, and, thank you.
Right, we will stick to the weekly rota as planned. Wake up, James. Because we have handling the murder investigation, and may I introduce to you D.C. Lilly, D.S. Haskins, D.I. Hebden, and D.I. Dalton. Where is Dalton? Anyway, that said, any further information concerning Operation Contract is... Cut it out. You know Superintendent Halliday's making this a priority. Look, Larry, can you farm out all the contact numbers from the advice centre?
Excuse me, Gov, there was a message from some woman, Smithy, from a newspaper. I left the number and the name. I don't believe it.
All right, mate. How are you? We were at Hornchurch together.
Long time no see. Keeping fit? Still playing for the rugby team?
Nah, did me knee. Tendons, had to have an op. This is a bit off the beaten track for you, isn't it? I thought you were still with Scotland Yard.
Yeah, I was, but I got transferred here. Listen, I'll catch up with you in a second, all right? Let's go to this.
Sure.
We've traced 3 of the alibis. They were all at the centre all evening with Jackson. I haven't got anything on Alan Thorpe yet, but I got a list of his hangouts, so...
OK, well, give them to Larry. He's giving out the work for tonight. Oh, incidentally, tonight, look for Martin Fletcher. I want him brought in, OK?
List of Thorpe's hangouts.
What's this, then? What are you doing here? He got Fairy of the Week at Southampton Road 5 times on the trot.
Ah, you old puffter. Ray Hebden, Bill Otley, the skipper.
All right. Jackson was released about 15 minutes ago, does she know?
No.
Right, as from today, we are awarding the Fairy of the Week award.
Yeah, we'll be awarding the Prick of the Week award. Apparently you're not eligible because you've been one ever since you arrived.
5 Centre. Vernon Reynolds' flat.
I timed it. You could get there and back in less than 10 minutes.
So Jackson could easily have done it, but 5 alibis say that he didn't.
Well, I reckon we could break down these kids' statements if we had Jackson banged up. I mean, they'd say he'd visited the Queen Mother if he told them. He's got to him. It's obvious.
Yeah, well, it's obvious with Martin Fletcher. I want him brought back in again. Parker Jones. He's Jackson's strongest alibi. You dig around a bit, see what you can come up with on the quiet.
He's squeaky clean. I think his predecessor had a nose round, came up with nothing.
You didn't take a tape, did you? Well, I've always time looking for it now. Let's call it quits for tonight, get an early start.
Right.
Bring him off my back, will you? I can't work with him. I mean, I could have got a lot more out of those kids this afternoon. One bit him and then I did myself.
What do you think about him?
I don't know. Don't know why he's on board, do you?
No, you didn't take that tape, did you?
Why would I do that?
Yeah, can I speak to Dr. Gordon's secretary, please? Hello, it's Jane Tennison here. Listen, I've got a 6:30 appointment and I'm running a bit late, so, could I... Shit. Sorry. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Evening, sir.
Evening.
Ryan, could I have a word with you? Has anyone looked at your hand?
It's nothing. I'll put a plaster over it.
I don't know how to tell you this, but Billy Matthews has got full-blown AIDS. I think you should get to hospital.
Little bastard. I'll go and see the sister. Little shit!
You do understand what this could mean, don't you?
He bit me. He broke the skin. He bit me. Oh, Jesus Christ. I was bleeding.
Well, think you should get to the hospital. You'll need a tetanus injection anyway. Do you want someone to come with you? Help me?
Oh, it's okay. I've got my own car. Thank you.
I don't know why we're going to all this bleeding trouble. Nasty little queer. So, we got an address for him, for Colin stroke Connie.
No, it didn't have a permanent one.
He must have lived somewhere. What about, recent photo?
These are from a children's home. A few years back. Black and white. Not much else.
Oh, is he claiming any benefits? Dole?
Nope, nothing from the DSS.
Hello? No, she's not here. She's not in her own office. All right, I'll take it. Hello? No, she's not here. Can I take a message? Yeah. Jessica Smithy. I'll tell her.
Any vice charges? I mean, he was on the game, wasn't he?
Too young to bring charges, wasn't he? 1988, picked up, shipped back. I don't understand, you know what I mean? What makes a grown man want to screw some little boy? Or little girl, come to think about it.
Make our job a damn sight easy if we had a recent photo.
Here you go.
Well, I'll run the tests anyway, but I'm sure it's nothing. You work too hard. You run down. Need a break.
Can I ask you something? If a person has full-blown AIDS and bites someone else or actually draws blood, how dangerous is that?
Well, that rather depends. It's not the fact that the AIDS carrier has drawn blood, but if his blood then comes in contact with the open wound, often their gums can bleed. So it really rather depends how far advanced the AIDS carrier is.
How soon can it be diagnosed?
We're not talking about you, are we?
No, it's a friend of mine.
Well, your friend should be tested for antibody immediately. That will only prove that he or she doesn't have it now. I'm afraid it will take up to 6 months to prove they're absolutely clear. So they're going to need HIV tests for the next 4 weeks or 6 months.
You mean it'll be 6 months before he knows for sure?
I'm afraid so. That's how long it takes to show a positive HIV infection. And AIDS, well, that could take up to 8 to 10 years to develop.
Okay, thanks. Do you have any leaflets on that I can take?
Yes, I've got some outside. I'll get them for you. These results will be back in a couple of days, so I'll give you a call then.
Okay, can I use your phone?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks.
Body was discovered about an hour ago. There's a doctor checking him over. Kid's over there by that angel.
PC Kelly to control. ID check on a Martin Fletcher. Martin Fletcher, adolescent.
Some bloody guardian, eh?
Apparent solvent abuse. Standing by, over.
Dog. Jackson's third witness.
Oh, that little one?
Yeah,
Alan Ford.
That's it, right.
Good. Go and have a word with him.
Oh, that's...
he says he was too pissed to remember who was at the centre the night Connie died, so that's one alibi down the spout, isn't it, eh? Oh, it's clever.
Alan, come here a sec. Alan! Don't mess me about. Get here now. What was all that about?
He wanted to know about Connie.
Right. We're going for a little ride.
What about my mates? Can they come?
No. Just you and me, all right?
Spice Centre. One of the so-called photographers was busted a few years ago, so he's quite helpful, actually. Now, he's mostly porn and girly pics, but he put me onto a Mark Lewis, who specialises in male beauty-style pictures. Now, I called him, but I got short shrift, and it's probably better for one of the men to have a go on that one. But if Connie was trying to be a model, I mean, it's possible he used him.
Norma, got any messages? Jessica from the newspaper. She is the most persistent woman I've ever met. She said if you haven't got the time to return her calls, she will come and see you at a convenient time, but she won't tell me what she wants. Now listen, the Jackson alibis. Alan thought we know was drunk and on substances, but Billy Matthews, why is there a question mark? He doesn't remember where he was that night. We need to question him. You might remember. Okay. And there's the message. Thank you.
Martin Fletcher virtually drowned in his own vomit. His blood alcohol high could have been bottled and he was sniffing. You know what they said? They said if they'd put a match to him, he would have combusted.
Return. Miracle of modern science.
You release Jackson. That means his alibis pan out?
Yeah. I didn't have enough to hold him. Which is a pity, because I think those kids are scared of him. They're covering up for him. I mean, we're going to keep checking their statements, but...
So Jackson is still the prime suspect?
Oh, yeah.
And Parker Jones, you went to see him?
Yeah? Why, any reason I shouldn't have?
No. No. And was the interview satisfactory?
Yeah, he was very cooperative, but...
Do you think it would be necessary to see him again?
I don't understand it. Are you telling me not to interview my prime suspect's main alibi?
I saw the case board. You've 3 boys that give Jackson an alibi. So, stay off, Parker Jones.
Sir, am I in charge of this investigation or not?
No, I am. So now I'm telling you to back off him and stay off him. If Jackson is your man, then get him. Concentrate on Jackson and wrap this case up.
Margaret, spill, please.
Margaret.
Is it Martin Fletcher again?
No.
No, he's dead. He died last night, drug abuse. Oh, no. He left my station in your custody the night before.
My custody? Is that what you call it? I was called to your station and kept waiting for hours. I was there to observe Martin's emotional
and physical welfare. I do know the law.
I had no legal rights over Martin Fletcher. All I could do was try and find him some decent accommodation for one night.
Do you know Billy Matthews?
Yes.
Is there any way that you can get him off the streets?
What do you mean, get him off the streets?
He's got full-blown AIDS.
Really? And where do you want me to put him? You know one boy with full-blown AIDS and you want him off the streets. Well, where do I put him? With the rest? Do you know where they all are? Do you know how many there are? Look, I suggest you contact Edward Parker Jones at the Advice Centre. If Billy's there, then I can try and do something for him.
What do you think of Edward Parker Jones?
He deserves a medal. Do you know, it costs $1,500 a week to keep really young offenders in an institution, and more staff than you could possibly imagine.
Do you know Connie? Colin Jenkins?
No.
James Jackson?
Well, yes, I know of him, but I've never had any professional dealings with him.
Okay, thanks. Thanks.
If you can give an idea of the time he came to me, then you can go through all the portfolios. No? I don't know him.
What, sometime last year?
Do you keep records of clients, dates of sessions?
Some don't like to use their real names. I am strictly cash up front and cash on delivery, and I pay VAT and taxes. I run this as a legitimate business. I just take the photographs. If it's for a publication, then I charge so-and-so. If it's for a private collector, then it is between myself and the client. Help yourselves. I'll be in the dark room.
I mean, if I remember correctly, you said that the Advice Centre had been targeted before I came on board. Now, did that include Edward Parker Jones?
Not the man. It was more his boys. It's where they all congregate. It's one of the first ports of call for the really young kids.
And it was sort of inferred that you should all stay clear of it? But, Larry, if I have to instigate a full-scale swoop, that means kids, toms, pimps, punters, close down clubs, coffee bars, and I'm under great pressure to do that. Edward Parker Jones's name keeps coming up.
Is this off the record?
Of course.
The Chief Inspector before you got warned off. Parker Jones is a very influential man. He's got friends in high places, so we sort of backed off him.
And this came from the governor?
Yeah.
OK. And then Operation Contract got the green light for the clean-up?
Yeah. As you know, that was a complete waste of time. Chief Inspector Lyall was out. I think he's in Manchester now. I still don't think there's anything subversive going on, but...
There was a leak?
Yeah.
I mean, someone must have tipped off the punters, let alone the clubs.
Again, off the record, I think we got close to someone with some pretty heavy-duty contacts.
And who do you think that might be? No possible names?
No. If I had, I'd tell you.
Good morning. Can I speak to Chief Inspector David Lyall, please?
OK, yes, I got that. You sure it's Mark Lewis?
It's personal. Could you say Sergeant Bill Otley, Vice Squad? Soho, yeah. I'll hold. Thank you. I've got him coming on the line now.
I'll take it on line.
Sarge?
Listen, mate, I need a favour.
Sarge.
Remember when you were here? You thought you got something on the bloke?
Sarge, Kath's just got another call from one of the photographers. He's certain the guy we're looking for is Mark Lewis.
Yeah, hang on a second. Well, check the bloody board. Go on.
Who's he talking to? Chief Inspector here before Tennison. No doubt he's giving him a bit of that.
Mark Lewis, yes, they are with him this morning. Sarge, this Mark Lewis, did you know he's on the list from the advice centre?
Well, bloody contact them, dearie. I'm sorry about that, Dave. Look, can you fax me what you sniffed out? Yeah? Oh, hang on. Well, now, what was your little private conflab about, then?
Come off it, Bill. That's my phone. Is it for me?
Oh, it's personal. Go and check with Kath. I think she's got a tip-off. Yeah. Just as a favour, we're sniffing around Parker Jones again, yeah?
Ah, this is a waste of time. I don't know what we're doing here. We did a bit of modelling, so what? Can you see your phone? Mr. Lewis, can I use your phone?
Help yourself. Can't come out. I'm working on some negs. Phone's by the door.
Look at him, look.
Thanks, Mr. Lewis. That was Kathy, tip-off. If there's anyone doing the really heavy stuff, this is our man. 8 with no search warrant.
He is messing us about. He never said anything about Islam. Adam and Adam. It's original.
Mr. Lewis, we need to talk to you. What's this?
No, don't! It's acid. It's burning our hands.
Parker Jones is thought of as the Mother Teresa of Soho, and he's Jackson's alibi. And you know there's something else that doesn't quite fit here. I mean, if Jackson was looking for Connie for money, why didn't he take it when he found her?
We've got Mark Lewis in, and we're getting a video room set up, view Connie's tapes.
Okay, you go ahead, will you? DCI Tennison?
Oh, yeah, Dr. Gordon. Is it the test? Yeah, sure, I'll come in. Just tell me when.
Okay. Thank you.
He wanted DCI Lyall's contact number. It's in Manchester. Actually, I think Sergeant Otley was... You're right.
You didn't put this in my desk, did you? It's the ambulance call-out tape.
No.
Oh. I haven't got a cigarette, have you?
No, sorry. I've given up, actually.
I last saw him about 3, maybe 4 days before the fire. He wanted some photographs, not the explicit ones, just some head and shoulders.
And?
He never showed up. Look, I was only destroying them because I know he's dead. I just didn't want to be involved.
Did he say what he wanted the photographs for? DCI Tennison has just entered the room.
I assume maybe Connie was trying to get some legit model work here.
Okay, cheers.
Well, he was a very good-looking boy. Quite a star.
When he came to you on the other occasions when these were taken, did he commission them himself or did somebody else?
Those, well, he paid for them. I suppose he was going to look for work on spec.
you ever see Connie with anybody else?
You mean apart from the other models?
Yes. Did you ever see Connie with anybody?
No.
So we always came to the studio alone, yeah?
Yes, apart from the other people in the session, he was always alone.
Look, we know what business you're really in. So did you ever see Connie with anyone else?
No, he was always by himself. He was very beautiful, very special.
We know
very...
about the pornographic videos with underage kids, with children. So now, did you ever see Connie with anybody else?
Someone was with him once. I've no idea who it was, but he paid for the film. Just sat watching. I'm going back at least a year, maybe 18 months.
How much this film cost?
£2,000.
Describe him.
Who?
The man with Connie. Describe him. How old?
Oh, well, be about late 50s, maybe older. Grey-haired, grey... Well, it's grey all over, really. Pinstripe suit, smart. Carried a briefcase.
How did he pay? Check or cash?
Cash. He had the cash in the briefcase.
He waved his ride.
Has he made his call?
Was he in the videos, this grey-haired man?
Well, not physically.
What's that supposed to mean?
He said what he wanted. He told me what he wanted Connie to do.
Have we got that video?
Oh, no, that one never even had a copy made. Took it out of the camera. All the others came later. Connie got a bit of a taste for it.
Got an address for him? Phone number? Would you answer the question out loud, please?
No, I don't know where he lives.
Lived. Connie is dead. Remember? So how did you contact him then?
We've a stack of your videos starring Connie, and you want us to believe you have no way of contacting him?
Mark. You're getting in deeper. You've just admitted you filmed Connie 18 months ago. Still a minor.
I didn't know how old he was. He told me he was 18.
So, how did you contact him?
I'd leave a message and he'd call me. Look, I never knew where he lived, I swear.
Oh, I see. So if somebody sees someone they fancy in one of your films and they want to get in touch with them, they do it through you, do they?
Yes.
And then what happens?
I go round to the advice centre and stick a note up for him.
Oh, do you get paid for carrying these messages backwards and forwards then?
No. No, I did not get paid.
So you did it as an act of kindness?
Yes.
Do you know Edward Parker-Jones?
He runs the advice centre. He wouldn't approve. You know, very straight.
So why do you think Colin Jenkins was murdered?
I don't know.
Mr. Lewis, you've been read your rights, and you said that you did not require any legal representation.
On a list of his clients' names. Hack into his computer if he's got one. Dalton should be able to deal with that. I want VAT payments, I want bank statements. Let's throw the lot of that seedy little bastard. Go over his place tonight.
Under your trousers, son.
What are we watching then?
Magic roundabout.
Just do as he says. Bend over. That's lovely.
I'm glad my kids are girls.
You should see what they do to the girls.
There you go. Oh, that's lovely.
Sir, could you listen to the Mark Lewis tapes for me? I think you might be able to help me with them.
Sure. Obviously, we don't want any of these to go walkabout.
Right. Okay, Norma, what else have you got for us?
Hi. My name's Connie, and I'm 16 years old. I'm sorry, I'll start again.
I think we'd better get Billy Matthews back in again.
This is stupid. Billy keeps on pulling faces at me. Hello. My name's Connie, and I'm 16 years old. I like going out.
Slippers in your face.
Have any of you not seen Billy Matthews? Alan?
WPC Norma Hastings. Ambulance.
Chief Inspector Tennison, I'm Jessica Smithy. I'm sorry, I just need to talk to you.
Photos?
Go back in the car, Carl. Here's my card.
Oh, God,
No, you're not interested, are you? Why? Because he was homeless and rent boy? Doesn't he warrant a full investigation? You're the officer who brought George Marlowe to trial. I'm writing an article on the boy that died in the fire, Colin Jenkins. You see, I met him a few times, and my editor really wants pictures. He promised me an exclusive.
No, we don't have any pictures.
Well, they must have taken some when they found him, surely.
Well, what are you saying? You met him? How many times did you meet him?
I met him a couple of times. I've been very willing to come in and discuss my entire interaction with him.
You said an exclusive? Are you saying that he was selling his story to the papers?
He was prepared to name his clients, including a high-ranking police officer.
So did you record your interview with him?
Yes, and I'm willing to let you hear them, but I want an exclusive interview with you.
Oh, no. Miss Smithy, I want to interview you. And I want you in my office in an hour, and I want you to bring those Colin Jenkins tapes with you.
Well, I'll be there. I've been trying hard enough to get you. Thank you, Inspector.
Detective Chief Inspector.
Nothing in the dark room.
Seconds, man.
You're going to be here much longer. I want to go out. And do the next block, you know. Oh, hey. You want the keys?
Need you to stay, I'm sorry.
Blokes that were here last night didn't stay as long.
Somebody was here last night?
Aye. Took away a whole load of stuff. Police.
If I'd known I was having so many visitors, I'd have waxed my legs.
You could help us. There's his diary, address book, about tax forms, VAT forms.
I don't know, unless they took it all.
Who?
They said they were police, and that Mark was being held in custody. Nobody even asked me about him, you know. Connie. Oh, he was a sweet kid. Not all the time. He was quite an operator. But then he had the equipment. He wanted to be a film star. Oh, there's a lot of famous stars paid to have their past kept secret. That's life. Whatever you do catches up on you. Tasteless slippers, aren't they?
Both Mark Lewis's flat and studio were completely cleaned out and supposedly by police officers.
I'll look into it.
Well, I hope to God you will, because this stinks.
I said I'll look into it. We have to abide by the rules. We have to get the warrants issued.
I mean, there isn't one single scrap of paper with either his name on it or any of his clients' names.
Chief Inspector, check your transcripts of the Mark Lewis interview. He was allowed to make a phone call. Maybe he got someone to clear his place out, and it had nothing to do with delays in issuing bloody warrants.
Don't go casting aspersions around, or they'll come down on your head. We're just as keen to get a result as you are. May I remind you that you inferred that an arrest would be imminent? How much longer do you require 4 extra officers to assist your inquiries?
Look, I didn't ask for them. I can't put a time on it. You saw those videos? Those kids. Well, I might have a breakthrough. I mean, there's this journalist. Apparently she knew the victim. He was selling his story. He was going to name his clients. And she's tape recorded an interview with him. I haven't spoken to her yet, but, well, she should be here any minute now.
What's the journalist's name?
Jessica Smithy.
Thank you, Chief Inspector. Whose idea was it to bring her here? Bloody loose cannon, huh?
Well, we can't tell her to back off, not with this journalist.
Get those tapes. If there's anything incriminating on them, we can retain them. Give her 24 hours. If she's not charged, Jackson, she's off the case. Get Dalton on that journalist woman.
Am I going to be kept waiting much longer? She asked me to be here by 9.
Chief Inspector Tennison's caught up right now. She'll see you as soon as she's free.
Told you not to do that. I said I will contact you. Look, we first got to agree on what you'll pay me.
Mark Lewis called the advice centre, refused to say who he spoke to, just that he wanted his cards taken down.
You're late. Right, these are the Colin Jenkins, Jessica Smithy interview tapes. She says that Connie was going to sell his story to the paper, naming 1, a high-ranking police officer, 2, a member of Parliament. So if any names come up on this tape, they are going to stay here in this office amongst us, because we are opening one very big can of worms. We're going to need hard evidence to back it up. Excuse the pun.
Who brought this in?
Just saying about important names isn't good enough. I mean, what if all this is a lie? Just to get money out of my paper?
I told you I had names. Very important people. High up people. An MP, a police officer.
I have to go to my editor, Connie. I have to sell him the story too, you know?
Well, I want big money. Because if they found out I was doing this, then they'd kill me. There's a guy called Jimmy Jackson. He's real crazy. I want at least 20,000 for it.
Is there any other place I can contact?
Well, get that dialogue transcribed. See if the boys can clear off that background noise. We want names and as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Bill, keep tabs on Jackson. If he knew about those tapes, he wasn't after Connie for any money.
Sorry I was late. I had to go back for the blood tests. He said it'll take about a week. Until then, I'll just have to wait.
You all right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you're not, you can always come
No, I am. Fine, thanks. Do you mind if I sit in on the Jessica Smithy interview?
Oh. I had 2 meetings with him. We met once on the 10th at Mr. Dickey's in Covent Garden, and then on the 14th at the Karaoke K-Bar.
So when did you first contact him?
He called the office.
Well, I see. So if anybody calls your office, tells you they've got a hot story, you just drop everything, meet them in the middle of Covent Garden?
You get to have a feel for a story, intuition.
Oh, you had a feel for this one, did you?
I don't understand your attitude, unless you don't want an investigation into Colin Jenkins' death.
What's that supposed to mean?
If what Connie told me was true, it would make sense.
Why? What did he tell you?
That one of his clients is a high-ranking officer in the Metropolitan Police Force.
He told you that? Have you tried the patches?
What?
You know, for smoking. They do work. So, you had 2 meetings with Colin Jenkins, and on both occasions, you tape-recorded the entire interaction between the two of you.
Yes.
Now, the first time he contacted you through your office directly, how did you get in touch the second time?
I left a message at an advice centre. In fact, I even went down there. It's the one in Soho. I knew it was a big hangout for rent boys. It would have been the 12th of this month at 3:15 p.m., not a.m.
Now, did you speak to anybody else? Interview any other boy?
Unbelievable. No, I did not. I didn't interview anybody.
Yeah, but did you speak to anybody else?
Edward Parker Jones. He runs the centre.
What did you tell him?
I didn't tell him anything. I just asked if he knew where I could contact Colin Jenkins.
Did he know who you were?
Look, I'm a journalist, okay? And sometimes I have to...
Lie.
No. He presumed I was a social worker, and he was very helpful. Somebody must have told him who I was because he asked me to leave. In fact, he got very abusive. If I'd wanted to interview any of the kids there, he wouldn't have let me.
So, Edward Parker Jones knew that you, a journalist, was looking for Colin Jenkins?
Yes. So now what? Why aren't you trying to find out which MP, which police officer used him, killed him? He was murdered, wasn't he?
Now, look, did you speak to anybody else at the advice
I have just
centre?
told you.
I mean, a cleaning
I didn't
lady,
speak to
secretary,
anybody because Parker Jones wouldn't let me. He asked me to leave.
Gov.
Yeah. Sit down, please, Miss Smithy. Just one more thing. How much did you pay Colin Jenkins?
Didn't. That's why I was looking for him. My editor had given me some money.
How much?
A few hundred. It's no concern of yours.
Exactly how much was it, Miss Smithy? Look, I can call your editor, you know.
500.
And did you meet Colin Jenkins, give him this money?
No, I did not.
We will, Miss Smithy, be retaining the tapes of your 2 meetings with Colin Jenkins as evidence. You'll be asked to sign a legal document which bars you and your paper from using any information appertaining
This is crazy.
to
You
the said
cannot
tapes.
stop me from printing.
We just did.
Anything?
Yes. Parker Jones knew that Jessica Smithy was a journalist and knew that she was looking for Connie. I think she's lying, too. She had 500 quid to spend, exactly the same amounts we found on his body. I think she paid him.
Well, I think we should check out Parker Jones' credentials.
Already done it. Mallory University, Chicago. It doesn't exist. The rest is a load of old cobblers. I think we're getting somewhere. We've got a motive.
For Jackson?
Yeah. Now, listen, until I get back, I want you to keep pressure on those kids' alibis, OK?
Do you want me to come with you?
To my doctor's? No, thank you. Oh, incidentally, Halliday wants a transcript of those Jessica Smithy tapes, but I don't want anyone to get their hands on them until I see them first, OK? See you later.
Well, we shall have to run a test. Your blood pressure's a bit up, and at your age, we need to be careful. So, no more smoking, no more drinking.
Are you positive about this?
Oh, yes. I think so. You're pregnant. Just.